I actually feel special and privileged. I've seen other hospitals and I've seen other ICUs and previous jobs where I worked, and nothing is like this. When I come in, I feel special that I actually get to work in a state-of-the-art hospital.
The decor of the unit is it's more homey. It's not hospital-like. Back in the old days, hospitals were always painted the mint green and the colors that you knew you were in a hospital as soon as you walked into it. Here it's more conducive to a residential type of setup and decoration. It helps with healing. It helps people feel like they're in a good environment.
The walls here are painted like in a really soft sage color opposed to being white. And we have pictures of birds and waterfalls, and we have really cool furniture in the rooms. We have big TVs, and it gives them more of a homely feel to make them feel more comfortable.
The ceilings are fairly tall. I think they run about 10 feet. They're taller than what they used to be, that is for sure. A couple of things is that, first of all, it really opens the room up so you feel like you have more space. I don't know if you've ever been in a confined space when you're not feeling well, but you feel like the room is stuffy and you feel like you can't breathe. You feel sicker.
Our patients receive natural light through our windows. Our windows are actually from wall to wall. They go all the way up to the 10 feet, and then they stop about mid-waist. The patients control the amount of sunlight in their rooms by the shades that we have, and we actually have 2 sets of shades. The first ones are just to kind of dim the light in the rooms. They still allow some sunlight to come through, but it's not a total blocker. And then the second shade comes down, and it's a total blackout room. So it looks completely dark in the room, at least like even around 1 o'clock. And that it not only helps with patients, but it also helps with the physicians, like our endo docs that come in and they have to do procedures where they have to have total darkness. Those dark blackout shades help.
One of the nice features is that we decided that we didn't want lights going down the center of the hallway because a lot of our patients are sensitive to light. So what the engineers and architects discussed was putting lights on the side of the wall so where it's not directly in the eyes of the patient. Therefore, those patients that are light sensitive have a better experience.
ICU is kind of the equivalent of equipment. The two words go hand in hand. When you have a patient in the ICU, quite often they have multiple equipments, and most equipment today is plug-in. So one of the biggest benefits I've seen from the ICU booms is that we have centralized area that we can place things.
Some of the neat features about the boom is that it allows for management of our cables and our lines. It allows us to kind of store our cables and lines up off the ground. It's no longer are we tethered to the head wall. Probably the biggest advantage of the booms is that it allows us to get and allows physicians to get behind the head of the patient to do procedures such as intubations and central lines. And I can demonstrate this. We just pull the bed out, and it's not tethered to the wall, so it allows 360 degrees around the patient without tripping over a line or a wire. So the only line attached is to plug the bed into the boom, but the boom actually moves with the patient. So we can actually move the boom with the patient and keep all of our lines and wires kind of close proximity to the patient.
And what they do is, in a regular elevator, it's a very tight fit. It's just enough space for the bed and then one transport person. With our megavators, it's enough for us to have a bed, a transport person, a ventilator, and multiple pieces of equipment at one time. On a traditional elevator, you wouldn't be able to do that and get all those people. It'll be 2 and 3 trips.
In our new rooms, we do have a dialysis hookup that has a drain and a water outlet to provide the water supply for the dialysis machine. And it's been a very nice feature the nurses really like.
It's set up that we have 2 pods on the unit. We are 1 unit, but we have support on each end of it with nursing stations, monitors, and such. And then outside each room is what we call a cubicle, and it's basically a little nursing station that the nurse can stay outside the room, see the patient, be able to monitor closely. On each side, we have a monitoring station with monitors that the charge nurse or anybody at the desk can see if there's something going wrong, that the patient, if the nurse is in with the other room, somebody else can see it and be backup support for the nurse, so that if there is any need for emergency intervention, that someone is right there, is available.
Our mobile virtual critical care unit, we call it the bunker, and it's a place where some of our physicians and our nurses there all the time, and that's where they sit. And just like we have our monitors where we monitor our patients, they also have the same monitors there. So when an alarm goes off for us, it alarms in the bunker.
It is two-way video conferencing, so the nurse is able to have a conversation with the patient, and the patient is able to see the nurse or the clinician that they are speaking with.
On-stage and off-stage areas are separated. Any place that a patient can see you, we consider on-stage.
Service departments such as housekeeping, linen services, central supply can access their areas of the unit here, stock the department and refill supplies, that sort of thing, without ever being seen by our patients.
I feel like the onstage and offstage are family designed so that when we are on stage, family members will see that we are 100% focused on the patient, on what we need to be doing for them, whereas offstage is an area where we could be a little bit more relaxed and laid back.
Our ICU is designed with the families and loved ones in mind because we have a waiting room that actually sits right outside of the unit. In the old unit, the waiting room was farther away and it was a lot smaller. This one is very big and spacious. We have the modern pictures with the cute modern chairs. We have a big screen TV. We also have it right next to the bathroom and right next to the vending machine so the patients don't have to walk far. Everything that they need is right there.
The one thing that I really like about our waiting area is that it's designed that families can sit together but also get to know each other's families as well. When you have a family member that's in the ICU for a long time, you begin developing relationships with other families who are going through the same thing, and they start praying together and talking with each other, and they become each other's support system as much as they are for their own families. We have the little areas for family conferences, which is helpful for taking patient family members aside and having conversations with them if they want to see what treatments they want to seek and such. We have a large conference room that allows for staff gathering and meetings, where we have a large computer screen where we can put things up, so we're saving paper, saving trees. We have special areas for the physicians. We have what's called the resident workroom because we do have a lot of residents involved in care.
I think that the small touches are important because people don't really want to be here. They'd rather be at home, and it makes them feel like they're more at home. And I honestly feel when people feel more at home and they feel comfortable, they heal faster.